Okay, it is May 27th and our garden, I'm just going to show you how to control some of the weeds in your garden, because every year our garden, it looks great right now, but come July it's just full of weeds. So the first thing that we do before Mother's Day, before we plant, my husband goes around and he sprays Roundup on the garden. You can see over here by our grapes, he sprayed Roundup over there before we've planted. And then when we plant, we put a whole bunch of grass down and preen. So in the sections where you already have established plants, like the onions, you plant the onions and then you put preen down around the onions, and then we put grass down on top of the preen. So, because onions are super hard to weed, so we haven't gotten any weeds so far, and our onions look like they're growing pretty good. Now, over here, these are potatoes. These potatoes popped up just recently, and so we've laid down some preen. And these ones we won't put grass down because we kind of have to hoe around the potatoes a little bit. But we put preen, we weeded it and put preen down by the potatoes to mitigate on the weeds here. These are our peppers, and we put preen, we planted the peppers and then put preen down and then put grass. So anything that's growing from seed, you have to wait till it pops up, then you can put preen, and then you can put a layer of grass. This will really help mitigate the weeds popping up. As you can see over here, these are these cucumbers, hun?
Yep.
So these are cucumbers popping up, and you can see there's already weeds coming up around the cucumbers. So we're gonna put these piles, we just mowed the lawn and we put piles of grass, and we're gonna spread it out around the cucumbers and put some preen down, and that will mitigate the weeds as much as possible. And over here, my husband put down this big black weed barrier. We could probably put this down on our whole garden, but it's expensive. So we started with one section. These are our squashes, pumpkins, and tomatoes. And we put, what my husband did was he cut an X and then folded in the sides and then planted the plant. I think this is a, what plants are these on this row, hon?
Watermelon.
These are watermelons. And so he planted it inside the little square. Watermelons coming up right there. And then we put grass around, so we don't even, and then he has a drip line coming right here to that specific plant. So this whole section shouldn't get any weeds, which is amazing. And these watermelons and pumpkins spread their vines, and it's really hard to weed around the vines when it's really going. So these tomatoes should be getting bigger. This right here, these two rows here are corn. So we're still waiting for our corn to pop up. And once the corn pops up, we'll put preen down and then put grass all around it. And these rows, all these rows right here, should be corn. So we're hoping this helps mitigate a lot of the weeds, so that we're just not overrun with weeds every year. And right here, this is a little pumpkin. You can see all the weeds, they just come up wherever they can. So we'll put a little bit of preen around this pumpkin, and hopefully we'll have a lot less weeds this year.